But yeah, I think we can. I think we can do it. I think we can make two scenes happen. We can make two scenes happen in this episode. We can make it happen. I'll make it happen for you guys because I like you guys so much. Alright, Capybaras, welcome back to another episode of The Lone Roller. As always, it is I, your host, Leon. Where we last left off with Talti, he met up with Hirsch one more time and did not realize that he was being followed by Tan. Tan being this gentleman who works in the administrative department. As he claimed, he was someone that worked his way from sort of the working class, but up into a little bit more of an aristocratic position, if you will, a little bit more of a bourgeois kind of class, if you will. But he still wants to overthrow the government. However, the only problem is that he doesn't know much about the first chairman, Thaddeus, and not really any information or any connection to him. So the first chairman, Thaddeus, is just this ethereal being at this point who lives up in this ivory tower that's above the space station. As far as Talti can really surmise, there's really not much that can be done about it. However, he still has Sandra and he still has Williams on his side. But for now, what he's going to do is he's going to accompany Tan to the administrative office to see if they can find a little something that they can dig up. With that said, we're going to begin the episode. We are now at Chaos Factor 4, as in the last episode. Talti was not in control of that last scene. It was kind of very troublesome for him. But our scene will begin with Talti and Tan going into the administrative office to see if there's anything they can find. As always, we will roll our D10 on the chaos factor to see if it's altered, interrupted, or if it proceeds as normal. So 4 below. Let's see. I rolled a 3. I rolled a 3. They get to the office, but there's nothing that can be found. Instead, Tan makes a realization that they have to go to the archives. The archives have to be located somewhere else below that level they are on. So they make their way down and they get to the archives room. Dusty and old of all these records on different tabs and different drives that can be accessed. And there is an archivist who is sitting there, and he or she. Let's do that. Let's determine the sex. 1, it's a dude. It's a dude. And let's find out. Is he old? He's young. He's a young man. He was given this position. He was given this position. It's what he does. And so they meet with this archivist, and they notice right away that he's young. And is he familiar with him? Let's ask that question. Is Tan, I would say it's likely that he knows him. Let's find out. 33. Oh my goodness, 33. We rolled a 33. That means 2 things. 1, likely is a yes. And we have an interrupt. We have incurred a random event. Yes, he already knows this person, and it's a random event. So what is the nature of our random event? So let's find out. Our random event. The random event focus table. Well, that dice just went away. This is how I lose all my dice. Let's try this again. Random event focus table. 22. NPC action. We have a number of NPCs in this case. We have Tan, we have Hirsch, we have Thaddeus, So let's find out. First things first, let's roll a d8 and find out where we want to roll on. Oh, I rolled a 1. Hmm, a lot of old characters. All right, let's see what we can improvise here. If not, we'll go into a don't know and we'll retry. We'll try again. All right, let's roll a d10. And who is? Yeah, I cannot see a reason why that character would exist at this point. This list has to obviously be updated. So let's go with these bottom ones over here. I think the best way to do that is to roll a d4 and determine it that way. Good. NPC action. Hirsch. There we go. That's a little bit more satisfactory. So NPC action Hirsch. NPC action. Your PC is waiting on the action of NPCs to move the adventure forward. So what is the nature of the things they do? So let's find some action that Hirsch does. Yeah, because the last time he was a little nervous and he was told to keep a low profile, but he's doing something to move the adventure forward. 49 heal. 47 innocent. Heal innocent. Hirsch is healing the innocent. He's healing the innocent. So what he's doing is that he's taking care of the people below, the other working class people. He's giving them both health and sort of mental treatment because, yeah, he's nervous. And yeah, even though he's nervous, he's obviously at this point now that he knows that he has to help out his fellow people. He's like, oh, we got to help everybody out here. And then that's what he's doing. And as he is working with people and he's working with these people and his peers, his fellow working class, his working class of people, eventually it draws the attention of the authorities. The authorities start to now move in on him. Oh, that's what happens. Because now this person of the Phoenix, as far as the authorities in the oligarch know, under the first chairman Thaddeus, is that something is happening. He doesn't know what it is. What's the likelihood of that Thaddeus knows everything that's going on right now? Yeah, I was calling that unlikely. I rolled a 41. Yeah, it's a no. Good. Doesn't know everything that's going on, but he does know that someone is trying to cause something in the space station. Whatever order that's there is starting to get a little bit tense there. So he is sending out the authorities to monitor everybody on the space station. And one of them happens to be Hirsch. Hirsch gets caught. And now the authorities are moving in. As far as Talti and Tan are concerned, they don't really hear those footsteps. That is just in a whole nother part, different section of the space station. But they're there and things are getting crazy. But they are there with the archivist. And Tan, he goes up to the young man and he goes, hello, it's been a while, hasn't it? Oh, like hasn't in Esteban, and Esteban is there, and he's just like, yeah, it's haven't seen you in a little while there. What's going on, Ton? We are here, me and my compatriot, if you will. His name is Sven. This is Esteban. Sven. Nice to meet you. Yeah, and they exchange pleasantries, and what ends up happening is that it's like, hey, Esteban, I'm really here. I just want to check some records. I had a bit of an order. I need to make sure things were cataloged properly, if you will, and we want to make sure everything is on the up and up. I just have to verify some data. Ooh, I give that a target of 6. He rolled a 6 right on the dot, so good for him. With that neglectful charming, he brings him in. He's like, "Go ahead. I got nothing to hide, man. Go ahead, whatever, man." And so they go in. So Talti and Tan go into the archive and they start looking around and is give we'll give it a difficulty of 8. Does Talti pick up on anything that catches his eye? Rolling a 6. target of 8. I think his alert or his notice is, let's look at it. His notice is a 1. So unfortunately, with that said, no, he doesn't really notice anything right away. But they search and they search, and they're looking for any kind of archive. They're looking for any kind of log or entry or anything they can find in any kind of filing that they can pick up on Thaddeus. So does Tan find anything himself? Let's give that a 50-50. Chaos factor 4. Let's use the right dice. Here we go. Not that one. Yeah, that one. There we go. Chaos factor 4, 50-50. Oh my goodness. Roll the wrong dice again. Yeah, I'm trying to think. If I rolled... Okay. I rolled an 11. That's what I rolled. I was trying to determine what I was trying to roll there, and I rolled 2 percentile dice, but usually my blue one is always the single digits, while obviously the other one being the tens and whatnot, and I rolled 2 tens. So with that, I'm trying to convert over what the blue one would have been on a regular D10, and that is a 1. So I, once again, incurred a random event below the chaos factor. I rolled a random event again in one episode. Fantastic. So it was 50-50 and a chaos factor 4. That is a yes. It is a yes. So he does find something, and we incur another random event. What is the event focus of our random event? This time I will roll the proper dice. What is the event focus? 7. Ambiguous event. Another ambiguous event. So let's use the description table. So once again, an ambiguous event. The adventure has slowed, and you are ready for a mystery to pursue. Ooh, this is gonna get interesting. So let's go through our descriptor table. 11. I rolled an 11 again. 11. Carefully. 42. Carefully harsh. Carefully harsh. Yes. Tan finds a log entry about the first chairman. Reading through it carefully, he reads about how Thaddeus, the first chairman, was able to take power by causing a line of events. A line of events that transpired through his own conspiracy, conspiring with Sandra and Williams. So this is not the first time that Sandra and Williams have conspired with someone to overthrow someone. They worked with Thaddeus to do this before. So there's that experience. So this is at this point, it's history repeating itself on this space station. And that said, it caused a lot of damage to the people. It created this system where the workers are always the working class. Then this class system that it just exists. It's just a whole caste that exists now that Thaddeus created, because as far as is concerned, that's the control level that had to be had this entire time. Tan relays this information to Talti, which Talti looks it over. Talti says, "This is an interesting turn of events," and picks up on that fact that this is history repeating itself, and Talti cannot help but see that. It's the irony, or if that irony, I wouldn't. Whatever. It's been used this way. The irony is definitely not strange to him. It's not unfamiliar. Basically, does fall on him, and he kind of. Well, that's an interesting turn of events, isn't it? History just repeating itself, isn't it, Tan? Did I say Tan? I meant to say Tan. I apologize. Talti, it's totally fine. That it happens all the time, let me tell you. I can imagine. So, what is it? What else does it say? what else does it say in terms of Thaddeus? Is there any way where we can even get to him? Is there a way to access the room in his ivory tower, if you will? Is there a way to get up to the ivory tower? Is there any records about what that is? I'm gonna call that likely. There is probably some information there about Thaddeus's uh, quarters. All right, so let's get back on our fate table here on the fate chart. Making sure that I'm rolling the proper dice this time. You know the dice. The Midnight Fury design dice. Yeah, go check them out. Right there. That's their thing. I know I've been playing with the text lately and pointing at the camera, doing one of these. So hopefully the text appears exactly where my finger is scrolling through right now. With that said, I'm going to say it is likely there's something in this log that Tan finds about how to get into Thaddeus's quarters. So we're going to call it likely. Chaos factor 4. 23. Likely. Yes. No, wait. Yes. It is very much there. And it tells them how to access that. Now, right there, Tan looks at it and he goes, yeah, look at it. Funny enough, Sven, there is a way to get to it. Look, it says here that he has this phrase that he always says all the time, and that's everything that he would always use for his access, almost like a passphrase. Okay. And Talti looks at Tan, nodding. Very good. This is something that we can use. I think it's time that I make some contacts again. Oh, I don't understand. I don't understand what you mean. Tan, you've been very helpful this entire time. I think you should come with me and meet the conspirators that I have. I don't understand. You'll see. And that that would have to end our scene right there. Talti and is about to introduce Tan to the Sandra and Williams, the other conspirators of this whole situation, and it's gonna get a little cray up in this biz. And so I think we can really continue. I think because the way things are going, I think we can continue this scene a little bit more, or we can end it here, make it a short episode. But yeah, I think we can. I think we can do it. I think we can make two scenes happen. We can make two scenes happen in this episode. We can make it happen. I'll make it happen for you guys because I like you guys so much. The scene is going to pick up where Talti is going to send a message and get a meeting place with them. So in that last scene, there was a little bit more control, so the chaos factor will go down to 3, and that's where we're gonna go. That's where we're gonna pick up. So chaos factor 3, the Talti is going to get in contact with Sandra and Williams again, most likely through Key and Kel again, and find a meeting place with them so that they can now make something happen and just really engage this plan, start executing this plan to overthrow the first chairman, Thaddeus. So let's roll our d10 and see if the scene is altered, interrupted, or proceeds as normal. It is a 9, proceeds as normal. They go to a meeting spot. Now, is Talti there first? I'm not going to say that's likely. I think he's going to wait to see if they show up first. So I'm going to say it's very unlikely that he shows up first. So let's bring up our guide here. So does Talti show up first? I'm going to say very unlikely. No. Yep. Just a solid no. No, he doesn't show up. But he stakes the area out until he sees Sandra and Williams. Your boy Williams is there. And then he waits a little bit before he approaches them and he goes, Sandra, Williams, Again, it's great to see you. And Sandra's like, yes, of course. It's always good to see you, Sven, as always. And Williams is like, you better, you better, you get better have something good for us, on boy. Williams, I do. I have a friend that I've been working with, another person who's been working on the inside of your whole system. And he made a discovery, if you will, and care to even humor me in this, but I know a way to get to the quarters of Thaddeus. You do? I do. You do? Oh, I most certainly do, Sandra. I know the passphrase to get into Thaddeus, and I think we can make something happen, something great. And he shows them the passphrase. But Toltine, are you going to join us as well? Oh, Sandra, I would love to, but I think at this point, this is for you and Williams to do. I assure you that I can convince others to join you as well. Because what will happen as things erupt, you're going to gain the power that you both need so direly. Am I wrong in that? And they shake their heads. He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. Because he can see it. Even if they try to BS him, he can see it. And Talti goes on and he says, I've been working with Tan. I've been working with someone in the working class. I've been getting the ins and outs of this entire space station. At this point, I feel that I've done my diligence and I've done my due diligence. And now I hand you a silver plate. And he hands them the tab with the information with the passphrase. Here, take this. Do what you will. What has to be done. For when I return, hopefully, this will be under competent hands. And they nod and they're like, yeah, you will. I would take care of it. I will take care of this place very well, Toti. I assure you of that. And Sandra nods along and she's like, yes, we will. Toti, we will. We most certainly will. And Talti and shakes their hands, and he walks away. It's a short scene, and I will have to say that Talti was very much in control once again, and the chaos factor will go down. And our next scene will have to pick up after that, where things are going to start going down. And I think that's something we can definitely put off on the next episode of The Lone Roller. These are the Tall T chapters. And as always, capybaras, please like, share, subscribe the videos. I've been having a lot of fun recording these. And with that said, follow me on the social medias. I'm on Twitter, Alternative Zen, and Instagram _alternative zen. And of course, you can catch me on you can follow me on my blog, stillfoxes.home.blog. Once again, I'm going to put all that right here. Look at that scrawling text. Isn't that dope? I've actually been using a new video editor, and it's been really fun. Look at that text. It's still there. Anyway, swipe. And we're going to go ahead and say that is the end of this episode. And as always, I am looking for people at the time of this recording to be a beta reader. So feel free to come in and apply to be a beta reader for my upcoming book, The Departing Tale of Christopher and the Hereafter. I'm so excited to finally get this book into some people's hands and see what their thoughts are and what we can do to improve the quality of the story and the characters, etc., and get a much more final product to be released to the public. And we're gonna end this episode off. Capybaras, as always, thanks for stopping by.